talking about today. Sorry, bad Hobbit. It's Nerdist News. With the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies releasing this week, the Middle-earth hexology has finally come to a close. Or has it? Despite the 300-page length of the Hobbit book, it's managed to sprawl into a 950-hour movie trilogy. Nobody would argue that these movies haven't been bloated, and yet here we are in a world where Peter Jackson is telling us he might come back to Middle-earth one day after all. In an interview with Variety, PJ said he'd like to take a break from Tolkien's texts for his next film to tell a small, true New Zealand story. But in a few years, Jackson claims he'll be down to return to Bilbo's homeland. But what would that even be? The Silmarillion, Tolkien's remaining Middle-earth book, is still owned by his estate, a group famously not fond of Jackson's movies. There's been plenty of appendices in the books WB does own the rights to, but we have to wonder how much of a film you can make out of that. With the weakest aspects of the Hobbit trilogy being the newly crafted stuff like Tauriel and Killy's elf-dwarf romance, who would even want a mostly original story set in Middle-earth? Look, Peach, we love you for so many reasons. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy is brilliant. Heck, the behind-the-scenes videos alone are Tolkien-esque in their epicness. But when you stretched one planned Hobbit movie into 2 and then 3, you also stretched the limits of our patience, diluting the magic the original trilogy had. And honestly, I am pretty burnt out. I know everyone is trying to drum up emotion with all these Hobbit retrospective music videos and magazine covers, but I just can't find it in me to care like I did when we said goodbye to Aragorn, Gimli, and Frodo. So I guess the question isn't really whether you should go back to Middle-earth, but whether we'd want to go with you. Me? I'm just gonna go play Shadow of Mordor. What do you guys think? Do you want to give PJ another chance in Middle-earth if he could somehow get the rights to the Silmarillion? Time to give someone else a chance, or should we just let it go? Let it go. No. Let's talk about it in the comments below. Speaking of letting it go, don't miss Hillywood's Frozen Lord of the Rings mashup. Oh, it's okay if they sing it. That's cool. Click on my head to subscribe to the Nerdist channel. Did your favorite Christmas movie make it on Dan's list? Find out on the Dan Cave, and then head on over to Nerdist.com for even more Nerdist news. It's Bilbo Baggins, the greatest little hobbit of them all.